Okay. Hello everyone, it's your fair programming error that just refused to be fixed, Code here. And welcome back to me playing Genshin Impact. Because there is still that event that we are not fully done with yet. But we should be able to finish everything off today. And then we probably should have enough time to get started on Cyno's story quest thingy. Because he got a new story quest, a second chapter. Which means we're going to be going back to Sumeru. Alright, I'm going to turn up the game audio a bit more, I think, because Genshin is always a bit more quiet. Alright. Now, first things first. Let's head on over and see what we can do in good old Inazuma down here. There we go. Hi Spinne, how is it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. You are the first one here, yes. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Hope you as well. Alright, let's head on over and submit all the shit we have.
Hello. Would you...
I'd like to decorate.
Oh, really? You've got the things from the list? Great, I'll take those. Thanks so much.
Alright, let's see. Here you go. Here you go. Take it all. And hopefully this should unlock everything now. Ah, look at that. Real fancy. And of course you're playing Persona 3 Reloaded. I shouldn't be surprised. Whoa, Sir Duck! Hi, hello,
so
thanks for
much.
the follow.
At last,
Appreciate
everything on the
it.
list is done.
Alright, we're fully done. Let's see how this event concludes.
I'm afraid I still have some final preparations to make, but I'll see you tomorrow. Then the party can begin.
I guess we gotta wait a little bit. Damn. That does suck. Okay, wait until the next day, of course. We start off with a waiting quest. I shouldn't even be surprised. Hello, hello. 14, I think, is what it said. Now, I wonder what Itto's gonna be doing for this event. Are we gonna have a musical number featuring the one and only? Or nah? Well, let's find out. No time to sit down, we gotta move. It is too soon, yes, Spinne.
Oh, compadres, you're here! Hey, serious props to you both. This place looks amazing. Even better than I'd imagined.
I did my best.
Everything looks perfect. We're ready for business.
I even got 100%
Traveler,
accuracy
Paimon,
on a song on
you have
Pro.
our thanks.
On my first try.
Guys,
Fun.
guys, why so serious? That ain't rock and roll, man.
Hey, look at that. My favorite melon's a fast learner. Also, I hear you're gonna be taking the stage tonight. Whoa, itching for a little competition, huh?
Oh, I'm ready to see the competition.
I was just joking.
No jokes, no backing out.
Jack, unbelievable.
Getting
That
cold
smug
feet?
face.
Don't blame me.
Boons!
I am the reigning champion of the great sing-along, after all.
The resub! Thank you! Rock and roll man indeed! How is it going? Hope you're well. Paimon backing down from a challenge? Ain't very rock and roll! Come on. We gotta get a Paimon musical number. Not what I was expecting, but I'm down for it.
Paimon is too rock and roll. Paimon was just being humble.
Sure.
Then bring it on.
But seriously, thank you so much for the resub. 23 months, that's quite a bit. Almost 2 years now.
Oh, Paimon's bringing it all right. Paimon's bringing it all the way home. Ha!
Oh, by the way, did you ever find that dog?
We hit a complete dead end. Goro said he didn't know anything. Mamoru and the guys asked around the city, but no luck there either. What if it really is in Tenshukaku? Is that why we can't find it?
Maybe it is the dog that I already have.
Poking around Tenshukaku
Maybe this is for
again.
people who missed the
Look at
previous
Kujo-sama
doggo
on
event
my
and still
brain.
want the doggo.
Couldn't agree more. If I bother her too much, I'll end up getting struck by lightning. So that's why this time, I kept my distance and just threw some paper notes towards Tenchukaku. Hopefully, the Raiden Shogun sees them and hands the dog over.
Oh no.
Wait, what? You're still taking a big risk there!
Too big a risk.
It
And
looks
yes,
like Doshin
super duper
Shikanoi was
close.
right. It's probably just a local legend after all.
Well, let's hope not, because that would really suck. Wish I had more time to look into it, but unfortunately, this guy's got a performance to practice for.
Oh, I'm ready to see the
Now, don't forget,
performance.
there's
Don't
lyrics
wait.
and music scores in the jam zone, so no wussing out tonight.
That's smug
Don't
face
get too
too.
cocky, bullchucker. We'll see who's rock and roll.
Are we gonna have a? Are we gonna have a? Are we gonna have a full-on rock and roll battle between these two?
Oh, Paimon better get some practice in at the jam zone soon. No way is Paimon gonna lose to Itto!
Dude, I want to see this
By the
showdown.
way, we invited a ton of people this time, including some people you know. A few have already shown up, and they're asking about you. Wanna go say hi?
Cool, yeah, let's go see them. Paimon's curious to find out who you invited.
Well, I'm just here to progress the story, you know. But I guess that means meeting my friends. Well then, there's Yoimiya. Gonna have some amazing fireworks for this show too. I sure hope so, if she's here already.
Oh, you're a real trooper, Yoimiya. This must be one of the furthest places you've ever delivered to.
I promised Itto that I'd supply fireworks for his festival. I wasn't about to go back on my word.
There we go.
Hey, Toma, Yoimiya.
Traveler, Paimon! Cool, you're here too!
It's been too long.
Well, looks like I owe the Arataki gang a huge thank you. If they weren't putting on this event, who knows when I would have gotten to see you next.
Never. You're only a 4-star
that.
character.
In case it was too subtle for you, Toma's complaining that you guys never make time to come and visit your old pals.
I mean, if
That's
the game
true.
gave me the option.
Obviously, traveling's very important to you, but you gotta take a break every once in a while. Just remember that you've got friends out there that would love nothing more than the chance to make you feel looked after.
I would gladly take you up on the offer. Just depends on the devs and how much content they want to add for me to revisit people. Because right now, there's really not much I can do. Anyway, thank you both, that means a lot.
Of course! Oh, I heard this really cool thing I gotta share with you guys! So, Itto says that the theme of his music festival comes from a story about a dog
90
that saved
stream
animals
streak.
in the war zone.
You really want to
How
hit those
amusing
triple
is that?
digits, don't you?
What do you know about this dog, Toma? Everyone knows how well connected you are.
For once, not much, I'm afraid. I guess my connections are one key canine short.
We ain't ever gonna get the dog
But
lore.
assuming this really happened, I feel like Watatsumi Island would have had to be involved.
He should, yes. He's
This
still
is a
alive,
dog
I
who
know.
managed
I
to
was there
sneak
earlier.
in and out of a war zone, repeatedly, without leaving a trail for anyone to follow. Whatever the case, it would have needed someone to help cover its tracks.
Maybe
As
he'll
far as I know,
drop
the
by
Shogun's
after
army
he's
doesn't do
finished.
that kind of thing.
So
I
you're
already smell the
saying it
raid
was the
coming
Cyno
later
Mia
on.
Troops?
It's gonna
They had a
happen,
specially
probably.
trained dog for rescuing critters from the battlefield?
Sounds kind of far-fetched if you ask me. Do we really think Sangonomiya's forces had enough manpower to fight a full-scale war and run a canine wildlife rescue operation on the side?
I mean,
Okay, well if it wasn't Sangonomiya's side, it must have been the Shogunate.
I doubt they had the manpower either. That war was pretty impressive
Right.
back then.
So, in my view, it's more likely that Mr. Dvorak simply made the story up as something to capture people's imaginations. I mean, he's an artist, right? Isn't rock music about expressing things we don't fully understand?
I mean,
Kind of like
I
fireworks
guess.
in a way. Don't question it, just feel it.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense. That makes you an artist too, Yoimiya. Fireworks are your art.
I'll take it. And on that note, boy, do I have an art show for you tonight. Make sure you don't miss it.
Hoo boy. Also, by the way, can we talk about how they said that this is the furthest place Yoimiya has ever delivered to? Didn't she have a whole thing in Sumeru, if I remember correctly? I thought so.
Tea parties are
Wouldn't
a
that
must
be-
for the well-mannered.
Wouldn't that be
If you'd like to
further?
learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach
It
you.
would be, right? Because she lives in Inazuma. Like delivering from like all the way to the other end of Inazuma shouldn't be as far as going up here to Sumeru. But sure, I mean, I guess. Whatever. Ah, there's Kokomi.
This Miss Hina looks very familiar.
Oh!
Outfit.
I was thinking the same thing, Your Excellency, but I just can't put my finger
Yeah.
She really is the spitting image.
Hmm.
on it. Of who?
Not of you. Totally not of you, Goro.
Oh, hello,
You
It's
would
been a while.
You wouldn't possibly. You couldn't be Miss Hina, right? It's
I'm so happy to
impossible,
see you
truly.
again. I was just asking Shinobu if she knew where you were. This is a nice surprise. Paimon didn't expect to run into you two at an Arataki Gang music festival.
I hear that Goro helped to secure the venue.
Oh, I barely did anything. A reader for my That's Life column was asking for advice about it, so I figured I'd help out. Turned out the reader in question was Mr. Arataki Itto. Her Excellency was also very supportive of the whole thing.
And then boom.
An international rock and roll music festival sounded like a good way to attract tourists. And it's to bring attention to the plight of living things, right? Seems like a meaningful cause.
Then when will the show
Apparently it
begin?
has something to do with a dog that was a war hero? Although
I
it's
want to
probably
see the
not a
show.
true story.
I want to
Have
see the
you
face-off between
heard
Paimon and Itto.
Oh, you know, bits and pieces. Nothing concrete.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Those sounded suspiciously like prepared answers. Probably because we've answered that question before. Mr. Arataki Itto came to ask us about it a while back.
Ah,
We'd
I mean-
certainly love to help if we can.
obviously he would have asked
Yes, of
everyone
course.
already.
Actually, I was hoping to ask for your opinion on something.
Sure, what is it?
Does Miss Hina look familiar to you at all? I have this strange feeling like I've seen her somewhere before.
Goro!
Oh,
I feel like I've met her before, but nope, sorry, doesn't ring any bells.
Maybe it's just me.
she probably just looks similar to someone you know. Like how the Traveler looks similar to his sister. There's no mystery here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Ah, I see. That does make sense.
Traveler, let's get out of here.
Totally not you. It couldn't possibly be you. Anyway, I gotta run. There's someone else I need to talk to. Hello, Punchy Boy.
Hey,
We meet
there you
again.
are. I sent you some letters.
Also,
a few
I
days
see
ago.
a certain
Have they shown
ninja.
up yet?
Ooh, did
I
this
see a
make you
certain
figure it
ninja
out?
lolly next to you. Is she a slip?
I've made some progress, but I'm still missing the final piece of the puzzle.
So, what did you learn?
I don't have anything conclusive yet, but I have a hunch that it involved both the Yashiro Commission and Sangonomiya.
Both. Okay.
You mean like in cahoots during the war?
Impossible.
Shh. Like I said, it's just a hunch.
Hi, Dormuse.
Let's not
How's
get
it
carried
going?
away. Anyway, I've written to the station, and they shouldn't take too long to get back to me. Yuriki Owada should be able to help find what I need. In the meantime,
Alright.
you'll just have to be patient.
Alright,
I would've
I'll be
gone back to the
patient.
station to
Just
look
tell me
into it
that the music
myself,
festival is
but
gonna
I knew
kick
Itto
into
was
full gear
performing
now.
tonight, and I didn't want to miss it.
Oh, I don't want to miss it either. You know who else is performing tonight? Paimon.
Oh, wow! Sounds like I'm in for a real treat. I definitely picked the right place to be tonight. Will the Traveler's long-serving voice finally graduate from speech to song in a triumphant victory over the Oni rocker of Hanamizaka?
I'm up and I'm not crying. Yes, the line we all should know. I remember that that line coming up. Was it? Was it in the? I know that line was brought up before. Was it you who brought up that we should adopt that line into the English language? I don't remember. Anyway, yes. Probably doing pretty fine. I'm enjoying a long weekend. If I remember correctly, there's a holiday on Monday. I have tomorrow off. So a long weekend coming up for me. And that is very nice. In Norway, there we go. They don't call her flying rock and roll fuel for nothing.
I'll be awaiting with bated breath.
Cut it out, both of you! No more stupid nicknames!
That was a funny phrase. And it's
Paimon didn't
a
realize
nice
so
one.
many people we know would be here. Better get practicing or tonight could be super embarrassing.
I don't need any practice. I practiced enough. I got a 100% accuracy on one of the songs on my first try on pro difficulty. I mean, come on. I know what I'm doing. Anyway, sure, let's go.
Hey, Mr. Dvorak, you're still here!
Paimon might need the practice,
Sure
I
am.
guess.
I've been checking over the equipment, scores, and lyric sheets to make sure everything's ready for tonight. Shinobu was telling me how popular light novels are here in Inazuma, so I've tweaked the melody and lyrics for a more Arataki gang feel with a light novel twist.
Okay,
Light
how is that
novels
gonna
plus rock
sound?
music, so... light rock!
I actually didn't change too much. Just took out the dog and made it about Onikabuto instead.
Yeah,
Should be
that-
more up Ito's alley.
Yeah, that is
This
definitely up
event
his
couldn't have
alley.
happened without him. It's my way of showing him some appreciation, I guess.
Gonna have another beetle battle soon.
You got rid of the dog? But wasn't that the whole inspiration behind the festival?
Yes, but that's all it was. The initial inspiration. Doesn't matter if we change it to an Onikabuto, or you, or me, or anything else. It's the spirit of it that counts.
Spirit? What do you mean?
The spirit of rock and roll?
That.
Okay, should have seen that coming.
Do you think people have been getting too hyper-focused on the dog story?
It's all about the music, my friends. Just enjoy the music. That's
I mean,
all
we're
that
gonna
matters.
try.
Fair enough. Alright, well, speaking of enjoying music, is it alright if Paimon goes first? Paimon's gotta get practicing, or Bullchucker's gonna hog the spotlight tonight.
By all
I
means,
really
be my
want to
guest.
see them go off
I knew
against
you'd
each
come
other.
around to the idea of going on stage. Here's the music score and lyrics. I can't wait to see this.
Again, Paimon and
Let's see
Itto.
now. What's this song called?
What a combo.
I got reincarnated as an Onikabuto and flipped the world upside down? What sort of song title is that? Is this supposed to be rock and roll?
Classic isekai by the
Soft
sounds
rock,
of it.
actually.
I gotta see these lyrics.
No peeking! You can hear them tonight when Paimon sings the song. Paimon's gonna rock so hard, Bullchucker won't know what hit him.
Again, I'm ready for it. Just start. Time flies by, and night soon falls. Music lovers take turns showcasing their talent on the stage. Whoops and cheers ring out as the crowd grows louder and the atmosphere gets wilder. Before you know it, the moment has arrived. Alright, come on. Is it time? We all want to see Paimon rock out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm ready, come on.
tonight is a night to celebrate, and I trust you're all having a wonderful time. It's been a non-stop rock and roll ride this evening, and we're almost at the end. But first, it is my huge honor to invite two very special guests to the stage.
Paimon and Itto,
The
right?
illustrious Mr. Arataki
Yup.
Itto and Miss Paimon.
Why are you
The
so
two of them will be
embarrassed?
performing a brand new song written specially for tonight's event. It's called I Got Reincarnated as an Onikabuto and Flipped the World Upside Down. Take it away.
Alright, I want to see this. This better be a fully animated cutscene. Come on, don't oh yes. The team up we didn't know we wanted. So easy, guy.
Raven took an arrow to the heart and
The Bakedanuki shapeshifted into dark.
I, weasel thief, hereby bequeath all my mora. 200 goes to my pa.
300 to dear mama.
Alright, okay, Itto is popping off.
Poor little General Crab, only a shell remains.
Unagi, goodbye. Now rest in peace. Please don't cry.
'Cause we'll get reborn as a beetle next time.
Oni Kabuto, raise your
Bro.
Here's to a world beyond the storm.
Shinobu in the front, just like, I can't. Yeah, there she is, just like, no. Vocals. It is odd. Again, it's so sad that this is only here for a limited time. Any player starting this game after this point will never be able to experience this amazing piece of art that was I got reincarnated as an Onikabuto and flipped the world upside down. Nobody will be able to experience this if they start playing the game late. It is tragic. This is required viewing material. After an exhilarating song to end the night, many people begin to leave. But you and your friends approach the stage to congratulate the two rock stars.
So that's rock music, huh?
Damidane or whatever.
It's a little different than I imagined.
The second one is with an N.
Really? It's different from what I'd heard before. Could be a relatively new genre of rock, I suppose.
So, how'd you like my performance? Did I dominate this little melon here or what?
Okay, Bull Chucker, you got owned and you know it.
They did say soft rock,
Oh,
I
stop
think,
it, you
right?
two. I think both of you are sensational.
I think they did say this particular song
Hear,
was
hear.
soft rock, but I don't know. I
Really
don't know enough
mind-blowing
about
stuff,
music
guys.
genres, I guess.
I call it a draw. You're very evenly matched.
You think? Okay, well, what about you, my compadre? Who do you think is the most rock and roll?
Oh, rock stars. Anyway, what nice weather we're having lately. Explode vibes. I see it. You know what? I see it. he is that same kind of idiot, and yeah. Well, maybe not quite as much. Idiot in a few different ways, but yeah. Alright. They are kind of both rock stars, it's true. If I had to pick between the two, I would say Itto probably sung his heart out a bit more. I feel like the last one is just such a nice little joke. Just like, anyway, what nice weather we've been having recently. I'll go for that.
Hey, don't try to change the subject.
Why not?
Let's not argue anymore, shall we? Itto and Paimon, you both gave incredibly moving performances. I owe you all an enormous debt of gratitude. Without your help, this music festival never would have happened.
Don't mention it, Jack Attack. Hey, if we hadn't met, I wouldn't even know what the spirit of rock and roll means.
The spirit of rock and roll? So, what does it mean? What does it mean for rock music to have a spirit?
You can't explain it.
Means you rock up, rock out, roll the dice, and roll with the punches. Just like me and Paimon.
Yeah, that's
Again, this
obviously
was
not what it means.
before this event happened.
Give us the official definition.
These two having a duet was
This
something
guy
I
got
didn't
it.
expect from this game ever.
An official definition? I don't know that one exists. It's an emotional experience, as though you're hearing your own story speak to you through the music.
Funny you should say that. I was just thinking that the spirit of rock and roll is, well, like the Onikabuto in the song. Having the courage to grab life by the horns and survive against all the odds. Guess I have a better sense of rock and roll than I thought.
Alright, Toma, then why don't you go up on stage next?
Oh, well, I thought it was gonna be all about that dog, but then the song didn't even mention it,
It's really dumb.
Was that supposed to be symbolic? Like, if the dog didn't exist, maybe the injured animals didn't either. If there was no injured animals, then that means there was no war, which means the world is at peace.
Sure, let's go with
So
that.
for Yoimiya, the rock and roll spirit is all about world peace.
Shinobu, what about you?
Me? I hadn't given it all that much thought. I was mostly worrying about whether those paper notes Boss threw into Tenshukaku are going to get him in trouble with the Tenryo Commission.
That must mean that for Shinobu, the rock and roll spirit is about keeping the Arataki gang safe.
Shinobu, seriously, you've got nothing to worry about. If the Raiden Shogun had seen any of those notes, she'd have come to join the party.
Watch as she shows up now.
Paimon agrees that you don't need to worry.
Again, we haven't seen A in a
Definitely
bit.
would've
I do
arrested
kind of
Ina
want to
by
see her
now.
again at some point.
Wait, where is that guy anyway? And where did Kokomi and Goro go?
Oh, Doshin Shikanoin had to run back to the station, so he didn't get the chance to say goodbye to you guys. But he did leave something for you. It's over there.
Oh? Some
As
kind of
for
special
the other
gift?
two, they couldn't stick around because they had a government meeting to get to. They did ask me to pass on their regards, though.
The fact that these busy people all made time to attend the party is telling. Clearly, Itto wasn't exaggerating about the stature of the Arataki gang.
Yeah, sure.
Itto.
That.
What can I say? It's truly been an honor to work with you.
Well, Jack Attack, I can't take all the credit. Let's not forget the Traveler's part in all this. A lot of people
yes.
showed up because they knew he'd be here. If we do this again, we gotta make sure we find
I
a
mean,
way
I
to get
did
him on
run all
stage.
across to that to
How's that
invite
sound,
a bunch of
compadre?
people
Get
here.
that rock and roll spirit ready, because next time it'll be your turn to rock our collective socks off.
If only the main character got a song.
Your
They would
Excellency,
never.
I believe the Tenryo Commission detective is...
Don't worry about it, Goro. The Puppy Union was a joint venture between us and the Yashiro Commission. If we can maintain secrecy, then all the better for it. But that was never the main goal. We saved some lives, and that's what matters.
So they were behind
I was
it.
more worried about the potential impact on your reputation, Your Excellency. After all, some of the lives we've saved belong to the Shogunate. If someone with an agenda finds out, it could cause an uproar.
Don't worry. There might be a way to make it work out in our favor.
Really? How?
Times have changed. We and Narukami Island are supposed to be working together now. So it's not necessarily a bad thing if people discover that we were already cooperating with the Yashiro Commission even during the war.
I see.
Goro, if you want my opinion, you should be more concerned about Miss Hina than you are about this.
Miss Hina, what about
Hina?
her?
What makes you say that?
I hear she works for That's Life magazine as well. She's young, popular, pretty.
And totally not
and
you.
She seems to be just as good at offering comfort to people in need as you are.
I wonder
So,
why.
It looks like you have some competition.
Understood, Your Excellency. I will work hard to stay ahead of the competition.
Goro. Totally not Miss Hina. She was here!
I learned something new today. I never knew that the Hydro Nation's rock music had the power to stir up lightning.
Miko, a few days ago, some strange paper notes flew into Tenshukaku, demanding that I hand over the dog. So I am here to see what on earth it was all about.
Well, I hope she at least enjoyed the music.
I just assumed you must have gotten yourself a pet puppy.
As it happens, I also received an invitation letter via Sara. I've never heard the name Arataki before, but they must be one of my subjects, and so I thought, why not grant them their wish?
Ah, so you came here to make a little Oni's wish come true, hmm? So tell me, how do you plan to respond to the Fontanian musician? It sounded to me like his music was commenting on the war.
The war. I'm not sure we can give him the answer he would hope for. But if nothing else, I know that we must avoid another war at all costs.
Look at
The
them.
people cannot be made to suffer like that again.
So are you gonna join the party in some way, or just gonna observe?
But what if the bigger war comes to pass? What then?
If it cannot be avoided, then I will have no choice but to fight.
Well, if that day comes, I'm sure that everyone here tonight will fight by your side.
Yeah, not against you like in the previous war. The Civil War. The fight of the people against their god. I remember participating in that. That was fun. Well, that was a nice event. By the way, it looks like I can... Yup. Might as well claim this stuff real quick. And then we're moving on to the new story quest that they added yesterday. Yes, new content got added yesterday and I'm already getting to it today. Imagine that, me actually being like on track with something. And not waiting like a week before getting to it. When does that ever happen? Alright, let's go. Story quests. Lupus Aureus Chapter Act 2 unlock. Accept quest. Before I forget, claim another key. Navigate. Going back to Sumeru. It's been a hot minute. Been a hot minute indeed. Let's see how far we can get with this quest. Normally these quests take about 3 hours. Sorry, Paimon, you just got cut off there. I am so sorry that happened.
Academia sure is busy during the day. But where should we go looking for people that we know?
No need to look long. There he is.
It's been so long since we last saw you.
Really feels like it's been forever.
Welcome back to Sumeru City. I'm delighted to meet you again. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. Paimon just saw a really big mushroom out on the road the other day and suddenly missed all our friends in Sumeru.
That.
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too. It was at a group dinner. I look forward to hearing about your travels. Something tells me we must have a lot to catch up on.
Can you invite me to the next group dinner?
You were thinking of us too? What a coincidence!
Indeed. Or as I call it, the Biryani factor.
Is this supposed to be a... This better not be a pun.
You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet stew again.
It's always rice to meet stew again. Honestly, I almost forgot about the caliber of Cyno's puns. I almost forgot about this caliber of puns. Oh boy. This is gonna be an entire story quest full of these, isn't it? I win the bet, Paimon. Time to pay up.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
We sure have been.
Alright. Here's your 500 Mora.
Thanks, Cyno. Feels good to hit the jackpot.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 Mora.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
All right. I'll treat you to some desserts later.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is focused on work, which is why I didn't complete the joke at first.
Want help?
A case?
your
What
case?
happened?
Master Detective Code is here to
Nothing
solve
major.
it.
But after finding out who was involved,
You know I can do
I
this
decided
easily.
on reflection to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can, you know.
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind
Master
me?
Detective Code, yep. Ignore the raid part.
Alright, was it really that obvious?
I really hope there's
Obvious
gonna be
enough.
another Master Detective
Still,
game at
it's
some
a fine
point.
idea.
Master Detective
You are
Archives
the
was so
heroes
fun.
of Sumeru.
I really
It
hope they
makes
make a
perfect sense to
sequel.
work together.
But they should
All
take their
right.
time.
Follow me.
Oathkeeper. Alright. What kind of oath are we keeping? The Academia. I remember hating this place and everyone who works here and studies here. Now it's better.
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Or is he the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage. He taught both me and Lisa.
Huh? Cyno's teacher is in trouble?
It's
Interesting.
ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Hi there, hello.
Ah, Cyno. Now who do we have here?
Hi, I'm the guy who killed dragons and gods before.
Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I mean, at
I've
this
told
point,
them
I'd be
about
more
you
surprised
before.
if people didn't know
You are my
us.
friends, after all.
I mean, come on, after everything we've done. I mean, remember when we arrived in Fontaine for the first time? Like, we just arrived in the nation, and Farina immediately came to greet us. Like, we just set foot in that nation for the first time, and the ruler of the nation just showed up and was like, hey, so you showed up here too. Now, if that isn't a flex, I don't know what is. Anyway, good to meet you, sir. We're here to help Cyno.
That's right. Let me summarize the situation. A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness sake?
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million mora at the back door of the cafe.
What kind of secret are we
Secondly,
talking
don't
about?
come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences.
Well, a bit late. You already
Wow, they
reported
sure
it.
didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million mora. What a joke.
Exactly, that is a
I'm just
joke.
a
I could
simple
could
retiree
afford
with nothing
that.
to my name
No
beyond The
problem.
tomatoes in my garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million mora, huh? In my tomatoes?
Yeah, more like
There were
blackmail,
no
true.
witnesses. So currently the letter is all we've got. So Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Again, though, what kind of secret could this even be? That it's worth that much money? Is it something we should maybe know about? Is it something that, you know, in terms of morality, might make it questionable to help this guy? I just want to know whose side I should be on here. Well, to be fair, being on the side of someone sending a letter for blackmail is probably not good either. But I just want to know that this person I'm now working for is morally on the correct side, if they have some kind of secret warranting 10 million more blackmail. Like, don't get me wrong, the person who sent the letter is definitely someone we should look into, but again, do we know who we're working for here? Ready when you are.
Paimon's ready too.
All right, take a look. Do you see anything suspicious?
Mysterious letter. You mean the symbol behind the totally legible text? And that was already read out. Is that symbol something I should recognize? From Cyno's description, it sounds like the threat letter didn't come in an envelope. It was simply written on a crude piece of paper and left for Cyrus to find. The paper, then?
Very good. The paper has a rather rough texture. It's not the typical kind you see in most books.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry. Could there be an issue with the ink?
So it's definitely not someone
And I
from the
bet the
higher
paper has
echelons of
something to do with
society. Makes sense why
Paper
they would
around
need
here
the
is much
money.
smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's very coarse-grained, almost as if it's made from some sort of plant matter.
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia.
Yeah.
But the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out.
Fair.
Looks like this part got wet at some point.
We can't just assume that they're not connected to the academia just because of the quality of the paper. This might be a mislead to throw us off. Potentially. Also, if the person isn't from the academia, then I don't know how they could be watching this guy's every move, as they claim.
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid, not plain water. It also looks like it was wiped off with a damp cloth.
A colored liquid, so... tea? Wine?
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Arov. There are some things I'll need him to take care of.
Alright. And that one letter is our only clue we have right now, huh? Nothing else. Well, I'm sure we'll find more, maybe. Alright.
Arov. Ah, there he is.
Yeah, true, very true, Tormuse.
Mahamatra Cyno. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while.
Hello there. Cyno briefs Arov on the case.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia. Somebody young and strapped for cash.
And they're using different paper, so we wouldn't come to the assumption of them being
I'd
from
start
the
your
academia.
investigation by taking a look at the cafes in the city.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often provided as writing material for customers in cafes and taverns.
And that's where they would
Of
get
course.
that paper then,
Yes, like
okay.
they sell in the gift shops. I remember now. Zaha Hadi bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for a vase.
Understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of interest immediately.
You have my gratitude.
So vague, not clear. even
One
offer a
last
credible threat.
Send some
I mean,
Matra to guard
fair,
the
still.
entrances and exits of Sumeru City. And change into plain clothes. Don't let them see you coming.
Will do.
Still, I mean, if we can figure this out somehow, it shouldn't hurt. I mean, if it does point to the cafes.
So, where do we think the culprit's at right now?
But then again, all we could ask is, was there anyone who was writing something down and spilled their coffee recently? That is all we can ask. And then either people have seen this person, or they haven't. And if they haven't, then we're out of leads. Pretty much, at least. I doubt they'd go back to the cafe. Again, people might remember them, maybe.
Yeah, they've probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Really? Which part?
The culprit's approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next. So, like you said, they need to wait and see. And crucially,
yeah.
the culprit said they'd be watching the professor's every move.
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you!
Well then.
What are you doing?
You wrote the threat letter.
Well, that was quick.
I don't know what you're talking about. What threat letter?
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively
Cyno?
hidden for someone reckless enough to threaten Professor Cyrus. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
I was just listening in, that's all.
Oh, God.
You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Cyno shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
It is, apparently,
There are
according to
coffee stains on the
Cyno.
letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth. All to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was
Alright,
a red
Cyno
herring
is just
all
apparently solving
You
this
had to
within
be
seconds,
somewhere where
huh?
You could monitor the professor's movements.
You can't pin this on me. I haven't done anything.
Really? Then why are you shaking like a leaf? The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra. But you... your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible liar.
Well,
I would never...
I guess this is the quickest story quest
Don't
we've
try
ever
it,
done.
kid. You'll pay the price. Now come with me.
Like, we just got started. We just came here. Is this what peak efficiency looks like?
Over quickly, Cyno already caught the guy.
You're telling me. 1 minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Cyno. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid he's ruined his whole future.
Everyone, it's all over.
So about that secret...
The culprit's name is Raka, a 16-year-old student in the Rataoist Darshan.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something.
Damn.
We checked his
Misjudged.
records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil drove him down this path?
We
shall
questioned the
never
culprit
know.
regarding his motives. He,
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
It's about your secret,
Very
isn't
well.
it?
It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes.
Alright.
He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the
Oh,
same
boy.
time and lost a lot of mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Okay.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha Hadi is?
I don't know, but I
Is
don't
this
attend any
going
classes
somewhere?
here.
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement? A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
Yes, that is how that
Maybe
works.
it's more the fact that you have the
I guess
time
he
to
did
grow vegetables
confess.
in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor alleging that Sir Cyrus
again,
illegally
maybe
obtained
he's-
a large sum of money from the desert before retiring.
Maybe he's
kept it
taking the
for
fall for
himself instead of
someone.
reporting it to the academia.
Maybe
Araka
he's
believes
just
this money
taking
to
the
be the
fall for
reason why
someone
Sir
else.
Cyrus
That's
hasn't
also a
kept up with any
possibility.
academic research or other projects
Or
since
again,
his
the rest of the
retirement.
story quest could be about
And
this little
given your
secret.
advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to blackmail.
Like, what was about that sum of money
I'm
you
at a
received
loss for
from the
words.
desert?
I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor Cyrus has never embezzled a mora in his life.
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Araka again later. I need you to deliver a few firm fistfuls to him on my behalf.
I
Oh, boy.
completely understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus, but I'm afraid that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor, there's no need to be childish about this.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Were you though?
Okay. Where does this go from here?
The academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes and some old woman on the street, there could be a slander case here. The Matra will continue to investigate.
And that means I will
Who
continue
said
to help
I'm
out, I
obsessed
guess.
with some old woman on the street. Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor. You seem confused.
Why are we...
Don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. Besides, I didn't actually hand over any mora to him. The whole thing sounds a lot worse than it is. All it costs me is a little reputational damage. That's all.
You're very
Please
quick
rest
to shove
assured,
this under
Professor,
shove this under
that
the
the
rug
academia
now, huh?
will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But
Again,
as a
I don't
former
trust
educator,
Cyrus fully
I'd still
here.
like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents. Their family lives in the city, yes?
Correct.
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants and they're often away on business. They've never taken much of an active role in their children's lives.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time being, if possible. I need something concrete for when I talk to the family tonight. We have to show them how serious this situation is.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing
Why
Araka's
wouldn't you
punishment.
just leave this to the Matra at
You
this
can
point?
hold on
You've
to the
seen how
letter for
efficient
now.
they are.
Just make sure to return it within a couple of days.
Oh, so you'll be able to close the case in 2 days?
Give or take. Cases like this are quick to resolve.
Very good. Well, thank you for all your help. Perhaps we can all go for a meal together. Oh, my treat, of course.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior
Again,
commitment.
part of me doesn't really
Enjoy the
trust
meal, everyone.
Cyrus yet. Because I don't know how he got
see.
the money from the
Well,
desert, and
that's
we
a
just
pity.
say, oh, I'm sure he
Yes, I
hasn't
know,
embezzled
you have to come.
anything.
You found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that.
Because sure, that's totally how we do this.
Ah, and isn't Tainari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
Oh,
You
Tainari.
mean Tainari's in the city?
He is.
Imagine that.
Tainari's master,
The guy whose
Nephis,
voice
called
actor
him
had
and
to
Kale
change
to
because
the
of
academia to help out
drama.
on a project. They should be at Nephis's office at this hour. Though I must say, I'm surprised you're extending an invitation to Tainari. Did you do something to offend Sir Nephis?
Don't be outrageous.
Yeah.
Nephis offends me all the time. It's never the other way
Had to
around.
completely re-record all of his dialogue.
Hurry up and fetch Tainari. I'll head over to the tavern with the traveler and Paimon. See you there.
Alright.
Go on now. Don't keep us waiting.
Let's see what Tainari's up to, I guess. Go to the second floor of the tavern. Wait, the tavern? I guess I might as well just teleport because that's down on the lower levels of the city. No use walking there. Alright, there we go. There's the tavern.
Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hist back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask them. They
Them?
were students at the time. They'll tell you what it was
Oh,
like.
so okay.
Won't they?
Sure, sure.
I was out in the forest
Hi,
at least 4
Tainari.
days a week back then, thanks to a colossal workload from Master. It wrought havoc on my poor tail, so I didn't exactly keep up to date with what was going on at the academia. Most of what I know, I heard from Cyno after the fact.
Professor's become a lot more laid back in his retirement. He used to be far stricter, and was especially known for being extremely principled.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a
A
student.
bit tired right now.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper-class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
She sure does.
Back when she was a student, nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
Sup, dude?
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
Long day?
Oh,
Not too long, not too long. But I
Order
am
whatever
glad
you
to have a
like.
long weekend ahead of me.
Not enough? Order some more. After all your help today, treating you to dinner is the least I can do.
I thought I heard some familiar voices. And Sir
Kale is
Cyrus
here
is here as
too?
well.
What, is all Hatham gonna show up as well?
It's been a while. Zahahadi was talking about you last month. How have you been?
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet? Care to join us?
That's awfully kind of you, but I had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight. I just came to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd come and say hello.
Hello there,
So what's the
Kirill.
occasion
How's
anyway?
it going?
Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Cyrus vividly recounts the day's events for the benefit of those who weren't there to witness
Sounds
it.
like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
I can't believe how young the guy is. What are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions.
I mean, I
Their
guess
minds
that's
are still
also
developing.
fair.
It's just an unfortunate fact of life. But still,
Not
this
enough
boy has
experience, I
some nerve.
suppose.
Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
If this were my son, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime. Oh.
I'm sure.
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kame! Your order's ready, sir!
Coming. I'll have to get going.
All
Have
right.
a nice evening, everyone.
I'll catch you all another time.
I guess Kaveh just shows up for a little bit of dialogue and then disappears again.
Here I am. The coffee beans are in here too.
Just so we get to see him again.
Yep, it's all there. I'll stop babbling away now. Let's eat before the food gets cold.
You're all busy chatting that you almost forgot about the food. Luckily, it's the honey you enjoy a delicious celebratory meal after a crazy day. And we're done.
Oh, too tasty. Paimon's belly is about to explode.
Wait, Paimon has a limit? That's news.
Mine too. I'll have to walk home to burn some of it off.
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus. Master Tighnari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll be the envy of the neighborhood.
I'm sure you will be.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
Thank you for treating us.
I'll see you all later. I better head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by Zaha Hadid.
Oh, I'm
Anyway,
sure.
I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
So we're totally gonna keep investigating now, right?
All right. Now, we finally have some us time.
What do you mean, us time?
Well, I was talking with Tighnari and Kale, and since we all have some free time, we thought we could all go camping together.
Or we could go camping.
Think of it as our way of welcoming you back.
I
to
guess
Sumeru.
we're doing that now.
Camping? Oh, that sounds fun! Paimon's in!
Time to show off my tent pitching skills.
Wait, no! That's my job! Don't take it away from me. Why don't you and Paimon help out Master or Cyno? You don't have to play
Camping.
the hero when you're out with us.
Big quotation
This is your
marks,
chance
huh?
to just, you know, laze around and switch off for a bit.
Everyone, let's meet tomorrow afternoon at the riverbank to the southeast of Gandharvaville. No need to bring anything. We've already packed everything for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
You got it! We'll be there!
Tent pitching skills.
Great.
I am so good at
And we'll see you
pitching
tomorrow.
tents. I do that all the time. You don't even know. Just making or finishing the stand. Damn. You will never be able to resist anything, huh? You go. Shame. I'm sorry. Low-hanging fruit. I know. Very low-hanging fruit. Ow. You know what? That's deserved. I really should not go for the low-hanging fruit like that. Oh, no. Not 0 to 14. 14 to... Yeah. We gotta go over here. Alright. Fine. More time skips. Alright, can we go camping now?
Too popular. It can be such a...
Kinda set off. Let's head to the southeast of Gandharvaville and meet up with the others.
Gandharvaville. Might as well teleport. Why is the loading screen always such a flashbang? That's our camping spot, huh? Not too bad. Seems fun.
Wow, you guys are ahead of the game. You set up the tents already.
I'd say we're right about on schedule, actually. We were aiming to have them set up before you arrived.
Traveler, Paimon, let's
One
go
idea
fishing
at a
together.
time
Whatever we
sometimes.
catch, we can grill for dinner
tonight.
Yeah, it would probably be better for productivity sometimes, huh?
Tonight.
I hope I can contribute too. The other forest watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while ago. I'm really looking
God, I haven't
forward to
done
giving them
any
a try.
fishing in this game in who knows how long. I probably should do that again at some point. There's still a
I saw
lot to
some
do.
very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us. I'll leave them here along with some fresh fruit.
Wow, camping with a forest watcher is the way to go. They think of everything. And even if they don't, they can improvise.
This is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
So, how has everything been going for you?
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable experiences along the way.
Sure have.
I see. Oh, in that case,
Can
you
someone
should
help
try
out
a
that frog in the
valberry.
background?
I bought some from the market this morning.
A valuable suggestion. Just don't bury your feelings using food.
Here we go
all
again.
I wanted was to recommend something bittersweet.
Here we go again,
I have a
Cyno.
sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff. Bye!
She sure made a run for it.
She made a run for it.
Unbelievable. She made a run for it.
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. Could it be she foresaw what shall soon come to pass?
Lurk? Alright, thanks for the lurk. Oh no. Cyno's that set up for another...
My dear friend, you know what I am about to say.
Apparently not a pun, we're just doing its genius invocation time.
Excellent. A kindred spirit. A great warrior can sense when a duel is nigh. But it looks like we'll get told off if we start playing now.
Oh, come on.
Let's
What's wrong
enjoy
with a
the
little
nature
round of...
for a while longer.
A little round of, you know, genius invocation never hurt anybody. Birds chirping away, the soothing sounds of running water. This is nice. No agenda, just relax and enjoy myself.
We got a bite!
I'll reel it in.
Alright.
Firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. Once Kale gets back, we can light up the fire and start grilling.
And then it was night. And we're still awake. Who needs sleep anyway, right? This is so relaxing. It's just so nice to go camping with friends.
There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
All of them.
How about the one on the left?
Whatever Paimon says.
Well, Paimon just thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your tent.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon. You can use it to bar the entrance.
Oh, how kind
Anyone
of
would
you.
think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Excellent. Then this tent will be an impenetrable fortress.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue?
Always.
Will someone help that frog?
Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's drooling.
Drooling so much you couldn't
sure
even
is
pronounce
desperate
the
to eat.
R. Just wooling.
I think it's time to add the seasoning. How do you like your skewers? Well done? Medium? Rare?
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steaks?
Hey, if it works for steak, maybe it works for other things too.
Medium well for me.
Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
Well, I'm gonna dig in. Everyone wolfs down the delicious food.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers.
I ate a lot too. Here comes the food coma.
If you're tired, then go rest.
I mean, it is nighttime
You must
after
be
all.
getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up.
Tonight, I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, Cyno. I'll take you down, don't worry.
Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Can we stop talking about this though?
Don't
Otherwise,
forget this.
oh god, that
The staff of the
flashbang.
Scarlet Sands.
Okay, no, that'll keep me awake.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful weapon. Try it.
Paimon can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want it?
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
You sure it's not gonna be the other way around? Let's not forget, I have my trusty sword, the dull blade. A divine artifact, slayer of countless vile monsters, the dull blade.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. But right now, it's time to rest. Sleep well and sweet dreams.
This camping trip has really relaxed me. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Peace and tranquility of the forest and nature's warm embrace lulls you into a restful sleep. Dream sequence, or are we waking up now?
I think they should all be here.
Gabe! Thank you for the raid! Welcome, raiders! How is it going? How is it going? How was the rest of your stream? Were you enjoying, what was the game called? Judgment, I think, right? Did you have fun? Did you have a lot of fun? I hope you had a lot of fun. Last thing I noticed before I had to go live myself was, you talking to that one dude about, some electromagnetic shit after you were talking to someone. Like, I'm kind of watching the streams a little bit on the side. I think so, yeah. Went good except for stream crashing. Ooh, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Tsukumo, yes, I think that name seems familiar. Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope the stream went well beyond the crash. I'm glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing the story thingy. I completed the event and I'm now doing that story quest with Cyno. We're currently camping. It's fun.
Traveler, Paimon, are you in there? Could you come outside for a second?
Also, when we ran into Kave before, I was saying, hey, is all Hatham gonna show up as well? And look who's here now. Look who showed up. Placing bombs. Yes, that. Now lurk. Alright, you do that. You focus on Persona.
Look at this.
What the? What's this sword doing here? Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
Don't you dare step into my tent.
Huh? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this?
Those voices, I recognize them. I must be prepared for combat. I'm going back to sleep. Relatable.
Oh, hey them, Kave! What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night!
Huh? Why'd they come all the way out here?
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
That being?
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
How are you already up so quickly, Tainari?
Something has come up, and since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning.
Ah, so I knew that. So the Cyrus plotline wasn't done after all, huh? Well, let's see it. What happened?
Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed them. Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
He didn't ask you.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are, and so are the fruits.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What were they drinking?
Gotta go for a walk? Alright, appreciate the lurk.
Right,
Have a
I
nice
forgot to
walk.
mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening when I went to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for Cyno, Tainari, Kale, and the Traveler and Paimon. Anyway,
he
they
sure
got a
was.
bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was. It looked pretty good.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
Tangled up in what?
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to
That?
extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million mora.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The sages are probably dealing with the case by now.
So did you figure out something else?
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it. Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper had this beautiful pattern on it that I've never seen before. Really caught my eye. Give me a sec. I'll sketch it out for you.
The thing that I pointed out behind the text where I was like, am I supposed to recognize it maybe? The thing that I pointed out that didn't come up in any way, shape, or form, is it actually gonna have relevance now?
Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before. God knows where the culprit got it from.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
What? Really?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palaces. And the crisscrossing and mirroring here. I recognize that too. It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem. One that hasn't been used in a very long time.
Ooh, there's some mystery connected
emblem
to
is it?
this.
It's the emblem of the Temple of Silence.
Where is this Temple of Silence? How do I find it?
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right. So we went looking for you.
Yeah, something
This
that's
was a long
clearly
way to come
connected to
from
the
the city.
desert.
Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tainari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking
Yeah.
about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
Should I check it out
Is
right
everything
now?
okay? Give me a second.
Also, is
Let me
that
get
why
Kale.
Cyrus wanted to keep the letter for a little bit? Not to show it off to his family, he recognized the emblem, probably. I knew there was more to this dude, I knew we shouldn't fully trust
So you've
him.
never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the Academia. Theoretically, it's responsible for the custody and disposal of information and documents not fit for public dissemination. At least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret and the greatest of all sages. Most of the organization's members hailed from the desert. By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected with the desert folk.
So where did that symbol come from?
Academia is just a fake? Wow.
So why was
It's
that
possible.
emblem on there then?
The real question is, why? My guess is they're covering something up.
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, yeah!
Of course.
Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
If you're asking me whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
Of course, true.
So much about this doesn't make sense.
Gotta know all
Why
the
did the emblem
secrets.
of the Temple of Silence
If it's his
appear on a
job.
threat letter from
Even
an
if it's only
academia
for a
student to
second.
Cyrus? The student's only 16 and doesn't have any family ties to the desert. So where could he have seen that emblem or gotten the paper?
You said you ran into Cyno, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told us?
Yep. He ran off as soon as he heard what we said.
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably halfway through solving the case by now. Still, we should try to catch
best
up
to
with
help
him.
out here.
At this hour of the night, Cyno will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good, and sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Alright,
Yes.
let's get to it.
As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office. You can ask him to tell you what he knows. The more information we have, the better prepared we'll be for whatever happens there.
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence, the emblem has to be part of a bigger conspiracy.
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them to keep an eye out for Cyno and Cyrus.
Getting everything and
Traveler,
everyone involved
Paimon,
now, huh?
You two come with me. We'll go after Cyno.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
So much for camping and getting some nice sleep.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Then let's go look for him there.
Alright. On it. The back part of the city.
Here we are.
That's the
This
place,
is the
huh?
place.
Alright.
Huh, we might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Oh boy.
Professor Zahahadi.
It's the old lady.
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness, whatever is going on tonight?
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's already been here.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all.
You didn't?
I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back.
Because he's investigating that emblem.
Place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Cyno,
He wanted to keep the
because he
letter
took off
because
in
of
an
the
awful
emblem.
hurry after
There's
that.
something going on here.
He never did
I was
explain what this
right
all
to be
about.
suspicious of him.
How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and he looked lost in thought. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Cyno hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Corps of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Interesting.
Cyrus didn't want to report it. Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's
He was
possible
probably
Cyrus
worried that
still
something
has
else
enemies
might
at
come
the
to light.
Academia. That's why Cyno was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
There's some secrets behind the scenes. He only reported it because Cyno forced him to, which means Cyrus must know something about the Temple of Silence.
Oh dear, what on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in? Oh, I do hope he's not in danger. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you.
Oh?
He wrote it when he came by earlier. He realized you might come looking for him.
Thank you.
Alright, what does the letter say?
Let Paimon take a look.
Gonna read it out loud or no? My friends, it's a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I asked you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me. Or we'll come after him.
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
Why even show the text on screen for me
that
if it's gonna
sounds like
get read
Cyno.
out loud anyway?
Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia and regroup.
Man. Alright, back to the Academia. I may have taken the wrong teleport point. Can you blame me? This one just looked closer. This is the one I should have taken. But this one looks so much further away, yet this is the one. Because you have to walk through the entire building. Well, here we are. Ready to regroup. Let's do this.
You're here? I thought you were going after... Ah, I guess you lost their trail.
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there. Cyno got there before us, but he was long gone by the time we arrived.
He didn't say where he was going?
No,
Specifically told us not to come after
told us
him.
not to go after him.
Yeah. Tanari shares what you learned from
Can't say I'm
Sahadi.
surprised.
Typical Cyno. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this time.
That looks like even more detail than what was on the piece of paper. Seriously, what is that work? Damn.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the only one with a record of the motif.
Alright.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business as part of a merchant caravan. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write the letter.
Huh. So he was
so
given the
it could be that
paper
this
by
person
that
planted the
person.
paper intentionally.
Yeah.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Core of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia, but as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish.
Fair, again, it's the
Temple of
Academia.
Silence felt that
I
they could
never
no
fully
longer
trust
the
them.
Academia and ended the partnership. They retreated back to the desert about 400 years ago. Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru, sequestering and guarding any wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The Academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they set up a dummy organization of their own to conceal the truth.
Not only that, but they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years.
Damn,
So
that's
how
some
did Cyrus
commitment.
become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries ago?
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Cyno. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Cyno had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
But he told us not
Really?
to.
Are you sure that's a good idea with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Ooh?
Master.
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person.
Hello there.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler and Paimon.
Where are your eyes?
Several independent eyewitnesses have reported seeing Cyrus and Mahamatra Cyno leaving the city at different times.
What glasses
Both were
are
heading in the direction
those?
of Caravan Rebat. I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Core of 30 in this case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Al-Haytham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy. I won't attempt to make
There's
you
many
understand
stains
the
on your
Academia's
legacy.
perspective. Now is the time for action.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation might be more complicated than we thought. I think we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's fallen into their hands,
And? Where are you going with this?
Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
Need our help? Whatever you need, we got you covered.
I've traveled the desert quite a bit.
Wonderful.
Made good
You have my
exploration
most sincere
progress there too.
gratitude.
Still quite a bit left to
Arav and I
explore
will
though.
continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Al-Haytham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana.
Alright.
Tainari, you're planning to go into the desert, correct?
He will
I
die.
am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help Master and I'll hate them.
Well, if you're sure. Okay. But be careful.
He'll die.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Will do. Let's go, Tainari. Hopefully we can catch up with Cyno before it's too late.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already. But we still have a shot. Let's take it.
Alright, let's get to it. Complete. Caravan Reborn. That's all the way here at the border to the desert. Okay. We've made it.
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Hold on. Look over there.
Is that Dia?
Well, that looks suspicious.
You sure you
Was
won't
that
brave
Candace
the desert
too?
alone? I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day, but still.
It's not my first time.
It is.
I'll be fine.
Cyno.
We got the entire desert squad here.
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Hey, remember how you told us not to come after
Didn't I
you?
tell you not to come after me?
Yeah.
I thought I had a good lead on you.
Sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing them all the way out to Caravan Rebot. But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something?
Not really. At least,
Oh,
I think
also,
so.
hey guys, it's been a while.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
Yeah, and then we got dragged into this
Glad to
whole
see
thing. Thanks.
Candace and I came to Caravan Rebot on business. We ran into Cyno as he was asking about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies. That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Very few supplies, you
Cyno,
say.
It's okay if
So
you
he
can't
probably
tell
knows
us anything
exactly
about
where
the
he's
case.
going.
But let us know how we can support you. We're here to help however you need. The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find the person you seek.
Came back at a good time, did you
No,
now?
it's not that simple. If I'm right,
What a
they'll be
time to
doing
come
everything
back
they can
to.
to avoid us.
We spoke with Zaha Hadid. From
Was-
what she said, it's
I
pretty
mean,
clear
to
that
be
he
fair,
wants
a
to
lot of
try
the
and
character
solve this on
designs in
his
this
own.
game are pretty nice.
It won't be easy
Dia
trying
being
to
no
find him in the
exception.
desert when he's deliberately trying to cover his tracks.
Sounds like this is far more complex than we imagined.
Still, if he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past our village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
I guess that's our next target then.
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way
So
to
to catch
retrieve
you up to speed, we're currently trying to track down
Come
Cyrus.
on. No need to get all serious.
The old guy who
Just
got the
buy a
threatening
round of
letter.
drinks next time we're all in the city or something.
Yeah, he mysteriously
That's a deal.
disappeared. After we
Alright,
found out
so,
that, hang
you
on,
all
the
set?
symbol on the back of that
Yes,
letter was
we'll handle
actually
it from here.
something very
Thank
important.
you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
Alright.
Symbol of the
Then we'll
Temple
leave
of
you to it.
Silence, and
Just remember,
the dude
change
apparently
your
did not
mind and
initially
need some
want to turn in the
reinforcements,
letter,
we'll be
probably
here.
because he knew exactly what
I
it
don't
was.
think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
So, sad that I already gotta go, dear. Was nice seeing you again. I'm sure we'll run into each other later. Alright, off to Aru Village.
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
Go on.
The plot thickens, indeed.
So, after you left the campsite, we had a longer talk.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do.
Oh?
I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power. Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence. Due to my unique...
Yeah, true, he handed the
constitution,
evidence back to him and was like,
I was
okay, you
put
want the
through a
letter
number of
back? Here,
trials in
keep
the
it.
desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, and he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I don't know if we would have connected the dots and realized there was more to this case than mere extortion. I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, it's hard to say.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh, and for Alhaitham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any qualms about you reporting it. Oh, maybe his connection to the Temple of Silence goes even deeper than yours.
I suspect so,
You gotta
too.
keep investigating and find that
Professor
dude.
has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and the concept of spirit indwelling, he avoids going into any depth.
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't you, now that we've caught up with you, you're stuck with us for the rest of the way.
I am aware. And I have accepted it. Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route. So,
Yeah, you ain't
I
getting
might
rid
as
of
well
us.
accept that you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not. So the best option now is to try to look out for each other.
You can't get rid of us.
Fair enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Alright, let's see if the dude passed through.
Hello.
Mahamatra Cyno?
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aru Village.
Cyno describe Cyrus's appearance and provisions.
A man matching that description passed by Aru Village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his sumpter beast. Then he was on his way.
Which direction did he go?
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. He said he was headed somewhere near an oasis, but he didn't mention which
And
one.
you didn't see which way he
Do
left
you
the
have a
village,
map?
right?
I can mark out the direction he was heading and the best routes
Alright,
to any nearby
there we
oases.
go.
I have one. Mark away.
Great.
Do I have to check multiple places, or is there just one that's the most
There you
likely
go.
target?
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
You've got a really good memory.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
I'm sure we will. Hopefully. 500 meters, huh? Probably a teleport point nearby. Oh, well, it's still better to teleport because the terrain over here is not the best to navigate. This one's probably the best way.
What a wild and desolate sight. Allow me to grant you the blessing of water.
Yes, true. Hydro Archon in the desert. Perfect. Blessing of water indeed, but we're already near an oasis, so it should be fine. Alright, let's see. Can we see the dude? Well, there are certainly people here.
Hold on. I see some people over there.
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
Should be. I'll go.
What?
No. I'll do it.
Dainari, you are not part of the Matra. Are you sure you should do it?
Huh? Why can't Cyno go talk to them? What difference does it make?
I guess it might be better to have someone casual
Given
go
my
in.
background, appearance, and the way I dress, I might not be the most welcome visitor here.
You know what? That's fair, I
Just
guess.
in case, it's probably better to let a more neutral party handle things.
And if that doesn't work, then you can come in and threaten them.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly
That's a
man
very
who's gone
unique
missing
character
around these
design.
parts.
You must be
Any
important.
chance I could ask you a couple of questions?
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if you've seen him. Let me give you the details.
Again, very unique
silver-haired
character
guy in a long
design.
robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
We're not really hiding well, are we?
thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
Yeah, we're not exactly hiding.
Uh-oh. That guy's looking our way.
I feel like we really
Your
shouldn't be
friend over
standing out
there
in the
stands
open.
out a lot too. Hey, aren't you Cyno, the General Mahamatra?
And who is you?
Yes, that's me.
You don't seem surprised that I recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing, aren't you?
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking for help. Do you want it or not?
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Your henchmen don't look like much, but something tells me they put up a better fight than most mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
Hey, hear that, guys? You're my henchmen now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just
damn,
cut to the chase
okay.
already. I'm running out of patience.
all right.
Want to introduce
Come with
yourself,
me.
maybe?
All of you.
Or do you want me to address you as question mark? Where are you taking us?
Don't you want to find your friend? A silver-haired, long-robed, culture type with thoughtful eyes? Sounds like there's a whole other side to Cyrus I didn't know about.
So you know
So we
him.
know where he is.
Just
You even
follow
know
me.
his name, huh?
I'll take you to him.
What? You're just running away, huh? No casual stroll? Also, you still haven't told me your name.
Please step back.
Secret domain entrance?
Ooh, something's coming out of the ground!
Is that the Temple of Silence? Damn,
What
no.
is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Wait, so... Hold on, who are you guys really?
Is this the Temple of Silence? So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time to address them.
Again, you look like an important character. And you clearly are. So tell me your name already. I would like to know. Enter the domain. It's not a domain. It's not giving me the character selection thingy. So it's just another area on the map.
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert. Especially not hidden right next to an oasis.
Damn, okay.
Ooh, Paimon's scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is the guy Raka met in the tavern?
It's a possibility.
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't done anything you might regret.
Me too. Hope I haven't done anything to incur your wrath.
This sure is a grand area. Now, I do wonder... Where on the map are we right now? Oh, wow. So that... It is not a domain, but it is technically also not really an area on the map. It's... Huh. It's not an area on the map, but also not a domain. That is interesting. Or it is an area of the map, but I just haven't unlocked it yet, maybe? Weird. Okay. Guess we're just going in here now. Well, that's a bit of a drop. Oh great, and the door closes behind us. Oh, okay, but I can open it again. Interesting, on the way in it opened automatically, on the way out I have to trigger it to open. They have a bunch of books.
Alright, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
Oh, gonna meet the leader, huh?
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended? Maybe we're not being kidnapped after all.
They can't have been at the oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
But why? What do they want?
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Well, that was quick. Can we meet your
Don't
leader
worry.
now?
Someone will come and call for you soon.
Oh, not yet
What's your
then.
name?
Please, at least tell us what to call you. Finally.
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves?
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried about you running off.
Because we can't? Is that it?
Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to see him again.
He's right. Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
Alright, let's see what we can find out about this Temple of Silence. Walk a bit and talk to everyone. Now my question is, do the other doors open? No, at least I can't open them right now. Okay. I guess we just talk for the time being.
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before, but never noticed anything.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess. It borders on the miraculous. Amazing to think that it's been preserved intact all this time.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the professor is safe and sound. So that's something.
Okay. Hi there, Sethos.
Hey, Sethos. Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? I don't blame you. Anyone else would.
I just noticed. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I finally noticed your vision. I've kind of been looking roughly at you to see if I could spot your vision. I finally spotted it. It's just there, hanging from your hip. You just got it there. And I didn't see it until now. I was wondering if you'd have a vision. Because again, a character as intricately designed as this must be an important character. And if there's an important character, there's a decent chance they have a vision. So you're an electro wielder, huh? So you got a lot of people asking you questions?
Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors.
Alright, you're the one who contracted Uraka, right?
Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true.
Oh?
Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. It didn't say what secret that was.
Okay, sure. Did you tell him to use that wording?
Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original thinker, though. It doesn't surprise me that he struggles academically.
Damn, called him
Cyrus
out.
leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is
you
that
knew he would act
recognized
like
our
this,
emblem,
right?
And it was his own choice to take the bait.
Alright. Have you ever been to the academia?
Nope. Not once.
Really?
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world.
I mean, that's
Besides,
fair.
We're well aware of what goes on at that place.
Are you saying you have spies inside the city?
Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street.
Why did that option show up again? I already talked about this. Alright. I assume for some reason previous options show up again. Well, do you know Cyno?
What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this guy's not being straight with us?
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
Well, that's all I wanted to ask then.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time yet for me to meet your leader?
Here he is.
Oh boy. So is your leader also an important character? Or just a side character with a random NPC design?
Grandfather, the person
Oh.
you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos.
Okay, it is an NPC. The leader is an
Greetings,
NPC.
one and all. I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience. Bring him out.
Professor!
Hello there, we meet again.
Cyrus, are you okay?
Nope, he's not okay.
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of great importance to us. We had to find a way to bring him back to us. Cyrus owes me his life, and to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of gratitude. I let him go a long time ago, but now, the time has come to demand payment. I wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me. But you got here so quickly. Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us two old men. You're all too young to get involved.
Get involved with what? Just
So
tell
that's why
us.
you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come here from the beginning. You only left in such a hurry to try and throw us off your trail.
Some things in life catch up with you. No matter what you do, you shouldn't have come. That alone brought the others.
Cyno didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did. To rescue
Yeah,
you.
we also came along
We'd
uninvited.
appreciate you telling us the truth. Otherwise, it seems a little unfair on everyone who had to stay behind.
My secrets are secret for good reason. Bringing them to light can only lead to misfortune.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to speak of your past deeds to the students you nurtured as if they were your own children.
Here we go.
You
Knew there was some
recognized our
dark story
emblem
behind
because
this.
For many years, you lived among us. Indeed, you all but became one of us. You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt convicted you.
What did
But
you do?
Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission to revive the might of Hermanubis, to bring new hope, new opportunity. But then you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. And then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power. We both know what I said to you that day.
that as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day the
So they
time
want
will catch
Cyno,
up with
is that
you.
what I'm getting?
And when that day comes,
I feel like
you
this is
must
about
pay
Cyno.
the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Is that what this is?
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
Yeah, just not gonna
Does
look
he
at Cyno here.
Professor, anything to say?
The moon is right. I came here once before. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together. It was a great, daring plan, and one shrouded in secrecy. The Temple of Silence had been bereft of Hermanubis for too long. The strength of its faith and its warriors were waning. Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies of suitable vessels. If the experiment was successful, the spirit of Hermanubis would then dwell within the vessel.
And Cyno was one such
Many
vessel?
believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand
Very sketchy.
Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grandson. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents agreed to release him into our custody in exchange for a small fortune. These two children were our only hope for hosting Hermanubis' power.
So, okay.
For many
Cyno
years,
and...
the Temple of Silence had been in possession of
and
2
Sethos?
Ba fragments from Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures.
So this new
The
character
test
has
subjects
similar
were
powers to
sent into a
Cyno, is what
room
you're
that had been
saying.
prepared for the ceremony, and instructed to approach the Ba fragments, whose power had been amplified. If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment: resonance, implantation, and recovery and observation. The resonance stage went quite smoothly for both candidates. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time? This would allow us to monitor the results after the first round and adjust our plan accordingly. Or alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time and compare their effects.
And what
But
did
as
you
I was
do?
deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate and be gone from the world for good.
So you did implant
Our
2 vessels.
had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power, we implanted each of them with a single fragment.
Ultimately, I ended the experiment and left, taking one of the children with me.
Cyno,
recognition
you're
of
just
past
getting your backstory
contributions,
here.
I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Cyno. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it.
He wants Cyno,
I'm
though.
an old man now, anyway.
He wants to keep Cyno here,
But
I'm
you
sure.
cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is the General Mahamatra. Your actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academia.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You were so young then, when we all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord. You and he, Sethos, you were our final hope.
Oh boy.
You'd like me to return my power?
Question, is Sethos going to be a playable character, or is he going to be one of those very few characters who are important but will actually die?
Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That power is not yours to reclaim.
Like a certain Harbinger did in
Cyno
Inazuma.
was chosen by the gods. You cannot take what they have bestowed.
And if he becomes playable, is he like going to be a 4-star Cyno,
was
essentially?
chosen. He was not the only one. My child, Sethos, has the same gift as he.
He's going to be a 4-star
So
version of
those are your
Cyno,
terms for freeing the
essentially, right?
professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my foolishness all those years ago that the Temple's glory has waned. And now I must take responsibility for the decision I made back then.
So what you're saying is, the power of one Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Sethos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear. And your objections mean little, given that you turned your back on us long ago.
Alright, Cyno, what you gonna do?
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take. You have to understand.
I know. But if this is a question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then... there is nothing to debate.
Sorry to interrupt. In my view, there are a number of contentions here that still need addressing.
Thanks,
Say that
Cynari.
Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then, we are at an impasse. I find it hard to believe that you went to all this effort without planning for that possibility. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table. Then we can have a discussion.
Wait, those ears. So, we have a descendant of the Valukashuna in our midst.
Oh?
Splendid.
Oh?
Fate smiles upon us after all.
What's this about now?
Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
And then he fucking died. The end. I mean, to be fair, he is old as fuck.
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
He's an old man. His condition is critical. He must have been forcing himself to act strong. His eyesight must be failing him too, otherwise he would have just noticed Tainari's ears right away.
Paimon, you...
Take our leader back to his room.
Sethos, you must...
Grandfather, I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my hands.
Oh boy.
I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours.
Alright.
Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill.
Okay.
So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated sense of self. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you yours.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years.
I mean, they are related.
I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. You've been to the city yourself. I'm sure you've seen that much has changed for the better.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of things that change for the worse.
Why not consider cooperating with the academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Tighnari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more to your plan than this, and I agree. All you and Bamoon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. I am the one who has a choice to make. And that's how it was always going to be.
So what's your choice going to be?
You want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
Oh no, that means I have to do
That
a
works.
time skip again.
Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict, Cyno. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting him back now.
Alright, sure.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
Alright, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Cyno. If you need any help working things out, just come and find us.
So is it a time skip or do I talk to people? Oh god, it is a time skip. Alright, fine. But not a long time skip. A new door has opened up. There's people here who I can't interact with because they're random NPCs that don't matter. Very elegant. Alright. The group gathers again at the agreed time.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragment.
Yeah, shady stuff will do that to you, I guess.
That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child. I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only bits and pieces. I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Hermanubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate.
It's
the
a
power that
possibility.
came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Hermanubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
Don't make any rash decisions here, Cyno.
No. I have no intention of returning it. I need this power to protect Sumeru. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. So I will challenge them head-on, and win the right to wield this power for myself. Fair
we're gonna
square.
have a duel? Duel between
This
the two
reminds me of
wielders,
something
maybe?
Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Silence was originally founded by the ruling elite of the day. Traditionally, such organizations are bound by a strict and ancient code of nobility. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring their tribal bonds, or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Proposing a duel, perhaps?
And just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse. That's how we win this.
That sounds good to me.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about medicine and would like to take a look at his grandfather's condition.
Alright. I mean, you do know a thing or two, so it's not even a lie. Alright, here we go. Up the stairs. Alright, where are you?
Sethos, let's talk.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training, so I was wondering if you might let me take a look at your grandfather?
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here. I doubt you'll be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
There's always a chance, though.
Only one way to find out.
Also, we could...
Follow me.
You know, maybe get Baijo over here.
Keep your voices down. We don't want to disturb him.
Tanari takes out his medical kit and performs basic medical exam on Bamo. Yeah, okay, how's it going?
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. I'm sure that your physicians have come to the same conclusion. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy burden of work and now by the effects of old age.
Damn. So what's the
Regretfully,
lesson
I must
learned?
inform you that
relax.
Based on what I've seen with
Don't
patients in a
work.
similar condition, he doesn't have long left. A few days at most.
Yeah. I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach. So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it.
There we
That's
go.
what really matters to you. I know it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here. You know that better than anyone.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you've ended up having to make the tough decisions.
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited it from. I accept, Cyno. This all began because of Hermanubis, So let's end it with the rite he himself created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents.
It is gonna be a fight.
He and his two companions proved their mettle by fighting over several days, winning the support of many.
Had a feeling it would come to this.
That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rites, the rite of duels. It's where it all began.
Sounds very fitting. I'm in.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite, along with your chosen companions.
Oh.
3 against 3. Sounds good.
So it's gonna be a team match, not a 1v1.
I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Cyno, both of us must put our Ba fragment on the line. The winner takes them both. Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake.
So win 3 out of 3
made
fights.
by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward. I can make no concessions on that front.
None needed. We're on the same page. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus, and consider this past dispute resolved. If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal. Then let's meet at the ceremonial hall tomorrow evening.
No, that's another
8
time
o'clock.
skip. Why would you do this to me? Unless the game skips it for me, which I doubt it will.
Well, after how that went, there's definitely no turning back now.
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power. Both as General
Yeah, but
Mahamatra
it's not just him who
and for
has to
yourself.
win. We have to win too.
right.
We can't lose a single fight
You ever
here.
since you were a small child. Surely that's a sign it thinks of you as its rightful owner.
Both as General Mahamatra and for myself. Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself. Not everyone could have done that.
Exactly.
Let's not get sidetracked. We gotta focus on winning.
The Traveler and I will never lose.
And neither shall I.
To be
The desert
fair,
was home to
I
an
feel like we
ancient
have
and
an
great
advantage here.
civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudice has pushed people apart.
I feel like we have the advantage here because I don't think we've seen anyone here who has a vision aside from our main opponent, who Cyno's going to be facing. Which means both me and Tighnari should have an easy match. Because Tighnari has the power of a vision and can easily demolish someone who doesn't have that power. And main character overpowered. Has every single element. Don't think that's gonna be a loss of any sort. So I feel like Cyno will have the most evenly matched battle out of all of us. Just because they both have visions and that, you know, little power boost.
But there
of the
must
bar
be personal
fragments.
factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Sethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
And tomorrow is soon. It is indeed time to skip. Is that enough? Oh, not just the next day, it has to be the next evening, of course. Skip. Very cute. Alright. It's time. Let's not waste any second. Gauntlet time, indeed. We got this. Again, this should be easy. Cyno has the hardest fight out of all of us. And by that I mean he's the only one who can claim like an instant win. Even then he should still be able to pull this off. Don't mind me just checking all the little side passages. Ooh, where does this go? Oh, this is another entry. Oh, this is a proper arena.
We gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence throughout the proceedings. Representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
So who is your backup?
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decision, Sethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Yeah, you'll lose.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here.
Who's
nor
fighting
what
on
will
your
become
side?
Of the defeated duelists.
Sethos?
Duelists.
Sethos,
The might
who?
of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor
I mean,
is
I'll
proclaimed.
gladly go first, but who is fighting on your side? You're standing there alone right now, dude. Okay, I'll go first.
Huh? Are you sure?
I'm sure. We want to keep our morale up.
I agree. He's very strong. Sending him out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
And then Cyno will finish strong.
We have decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
Who's we? Your other dudes aren't
Duelists of
even.
the first bout.
All right.
Please step forward.
Leave it to me. Like, was your were your teammates not even important enough to even show? Those aren't even people.
You better play nice with them or Paimon will make you regret it.
Little bit too much chatter from the audience over there.
Also, man, I haven't used the Traveler in so long. I don't remember the last time I used the Traveler for anything. I'm not even level 90. I'm not even max level.
End to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second bout to please step forward. When you're both ready, you may begin.
Let's begin.
Your teammates aren't even human. Also, that was 2 enemies at once. I thought these were supposed to be duels. This is not a duel if I'm facing 2 opponents.
So we should be fine.
This does not count as a duel. Oh, that was even faster.
Thus ends the second bout. We will now move to the third bout. Duelists, please step forward.
I'm ready.
So am I.
Oh, there's the music.
This is the final stage of the rite. I remind you both that the terms you agreed upon in advance are binding. When you're both ready, you may begin.
It's the big moment. Now, do I play this one too, or is this a cutscene?
Am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis, grandson of Bamoon, the leader of the Temple of Silence. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope, but to embark on a brave new experiment.
Look
so
at
that
him
we
having the
might
anime
prevail.
protagonist speech.
We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power, longing to see his spirit and his light descend upon us. Now,
He's about to get absolutely
I will
washed.
fight to become the rightful wielder of that power.
I am Cyno, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spontamod. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation. And you. I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Everyone, old and young, fit
Ooh, boy.
and frail, they're all waiting to see how this duel will end. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his
It
hands.
has a duel of words now?
I understand his beliefs well.
Now I know they gotta
I
get
know
all
what
of
he
this out
expects of
there.
me. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest points in the city, gazing down at the streets below.
Oh, so you
Then
have
I
been to
thought
the
of you,
academia then, perhaps?
Cyno. You and I both wield the same power, yet the lives we lead could not be more different. Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. Might, glory, and one of many other secrets that have yet to be revealed. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
Hey, this is not for the audience. We're just here to watch. Shut up, Tainari.
Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us, shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels, and yet we are more besides. So show me your answer, Cyno. Show me I can be more than my faith, more than the power I wield. Show me the person I can become.
It's time to duel.
Bring it on.
Fade to black. That is a cutscene. Yes. Show me what you got. Come on. Oh shit, he's going for it. Yep, very, very similar. They're going off though, damn.
That's all you've got. What happened is searching for your answer.
Oh, switching to weaponry, yup. And they even have the same weapon type. Of course, they're both polearm users. Again, what is why are these cutscenes always so hype?
Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
That was a pretty badass fight, though.
I give his glory to you.
He won't accept it, will he? Or he will.
I've seen that light.
For a second I was like, there's no way he will accept it, but
That
no.
is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands.
So we get both
to
a
serve
battle
the god
cutscene
king
and one of these 2D
Al-Ahmar.
animations in one? That's
After
pretty
the
amazing.
death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tule-Tula.
Tynarian
There,
priests,
they founded the Temple of Silence. And from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tule-Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians.
Again, Tynarians. What a name, huh, Tynari?
Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule-Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our Lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the
Forbidden
temple's
knowledge sure is
continued
not a good
survival,
thing, we remember
he
that
broke
much.
his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule-Tula Tynarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule-Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest.
These are always so
Then
beautiful, you know.
mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
And now he can die in peace, I guess. You okay there, Cyno? You good?
How is it? Do you feel okay?
You just realized, huh? A bit late, you know? I've been live for almost 3 hours. The stream is gonna end in like 15 minutes. But hello, Rob. How are you doing? Also agreed, Rob. Yes, indeed. They should.
Grandfather.
Yeah, knew he would die there. You, Sethos, and the other members of the temple bid farewell to Bamoon. In the Great Hall, people gather around the coffin to pay their respects. The atmosphere is something.
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
I know. I'll miss him.
I am so sorry for your loss.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, he's been on death's door for a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point. At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanubis.
Damn, okay.
That entitles you to be our
Cyno?
Cyno.
You got this taken care
But
of?
that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility.
My grandfather's
and
last
gave it
wishes,
some
I shall
thought.
die, yes.
The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am ill-suited to be your leader. Sethos, I believe the honor should go to you. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now. I'm sure Bamoon never meant for anyone but you to be his successor.
There we go.
You really think so?
I mean,
I do.
It seems the most obvious, you know?
Still, I didn't think Bamoon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos.
Welcome back, Gabe.
I would like you to succeed Bamoon.
We
as
seem
the
to
new
be
leader
wrapping
of the
this up
Temple of
very
Silence.
soon.
You are more suited to the role than I. and I have
Tainari
complete
lore?
faith
Ah, yes, the
that you will be an
Tainarians, right?
excellent leader.
The priests.
Just think of it as doing me a favor.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
Very intriguing.
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more. That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe that things can change for the better here at the temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
There we go.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamoon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person.
Which it now
Had you
is.
won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the Academia by force.
But
He
what if you
knew
did,
that the
though?
temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the Academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details.
Huh.
You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle.
Oh, so you were in on
to
it
mend our
then.
relationship with the academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Cyno. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the Temple of Silence for their pursuit of knowledge.
There we go.
The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization, more than any other organization in existence today. In times when
So
you
that
need
fake
information
branch
that
of the
only we
Temple
can
of
provide,
Silence can finally
we
become
will
a
be
real
here to
branch
support
again.
you. But you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates, lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Veluca Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Hermanubis. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his
Again,
familiar.
the fact that they're called
He went on to fight many
Tainarians,
valiant
and
battles
this dude
with
is
his
called
Tainarian
Tainari.
companions. They always stood by each other. From the
It is
founding of the
just
Temple of Silence
is a
to
little
the
bit
fall
too
of
on the
Tuletula.
nose.
The Tainarians who left Tuletula joined their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group returned to the desert, many of the Tainarians chose to stay and put down roots in the rainforest. In all likelihood,
Not
those were your
especially
ancestors.
creative.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians.
Well, there you go.
But I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
He died as well, off
Yes.
screen.
Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my grandfather.
If it's true that you and your
Tainari the
grandfather really
Tainarian,
planned for
yes.
everything to turn out this way, then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us, you, me, and Cyrus, we're all just pawns in my grandfather's plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official
Alright.
delegation from the academia to come and meet you in the desert. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead. But once things return to normal, please come and visit the rainforest again. You should stay for a few days this time, and start to build some relationships.
Ha!
If we're going to
And
work
Cyno
together,
can hook you up with some good
both
people to
sides
meet
have to
up,
get to
to
know
meet
one
and get to
another
know,
better.
right?
I will. Alright, well, bye for now, everyone. I'll be seeing you.
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Best of luck to you, Sethos. And may you become a playable character at some point. Sorry about that. Ah, I see. Back we go. Yeah, probably 4.7. I was gonna say I did say he seems like he could be like a 4-star equivalent of Cyno, but then he gave up his power. So he would probably play differently now without the bar fragment, right? So probably a bit different from just being a 4-star Cyno.
What were you thinking, gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age?
Before the next
What if you
nation,
take the
and I'm
bucket,
looking forward to the next
You told not a
nation.
soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantically to try and figure out how on earth to clean up the colossal mess you'd made.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling? What other choice did I have?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot-headed 20-year-old adventurer?
Yes.
A one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it?
Yes.
It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that I'm your colleague and former classmate?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh and blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his powers. Okay, look, fine, I admit it, I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you? What about, a month's work at the Academia?
1 month? Try 3.
Hinari's master is really laying into Cyrus. Let's give them a wide berth.
Yeah, we're too young to get involved.
Professor brought this on himself. Don't pay any attention to him.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this riled up in a long time. The last time he chewed someone out like this must have been back when I was still a student.
Oh.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. Want to come with me? We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
Makes sense. I'm in.
Free food is free food.
Paimon's coming too. Let's go.
Alright, I guess this is like the wrap up again. Gotta talk to everyone one more time before we end it. Also, Farzan?
Hey, Kale.
I guess she had to show up too at some point, huh?
Well, look who we have here.
Just showing up at the ending,
What has
huh?
been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert.
Hello,
and got embroiled
old
in a major
hag.
catastrophe.
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. Yes, and you too. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me? And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Sure, but we had it covered.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farzan.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
You?
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me the signal. All right, guess it's time to play my ace in the hole. Say, Madam Farzan, I can see you're pretty upset, but I was just wondering, remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the Academia? Does that offer still stand?
Huh?
There we go, there's the distraction. Let's get out of here.
Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands. Come on. Madam Farzan will show you around the old classrooms.
Thanks, Kale. You're our savior.
Poor Kale getting dragged off like that. Also, check out Farzan acting like some sort of official Academia tour guide.
Kale, cup.
Huh? What? Oh, right!
What do you mean, cup? You need a cup. I can get you a cup.
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
Sure. What is that about actually, though? Do we...
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school.
I see.
And it's become something of a family tradition now.
Oh, yeah, cup. Thank you, Rob. Cup. You are correct.
2 people
I am
left.
gonna be very
Let's
careful
bring them
because
along,
I
too.
can feel the scream incoming. And I'm gonna be prepared for it. But thank you, I was actually getting a bit of a sore throat. What is the cooldown? I don't honestly remember what I set the cooldown to be. And I will not spell ICOP. I have fallen for so many things over my time I've spent streaming. The good old ice wall trick, for example. There were a few rickrolls. But I will not fall for the ICOP.
Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in diligent studying?
We're just reorganizing all the books we used. Look, there's a whole
I
mountain of
remember. Of course you
There's
remember.
no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to you both.
Yes, with your help, we resolved the issue rather swiftly and painlessly. And the outcome was better than we could have hoped for.
Silent informs Alhaitham and Kaveh of everything that happened in the desert.
I see. The Temple of Silence resorted to rather unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for so many years.
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient
Ah, you're
documents
back.
as well.
True, we
to
are
go
about
check
to wrap
those out
things
if I
up.
ever
We're
had the
basically
chance.
just catching
That day will
up.
come.
We're basically just
The Temple
catching
of
everyone
Silence
up
is
with
a
what
hugely
happened during the
important
story quest.
organization, and we'll be sure to maintain good relations with them in the future. Now, as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to treat everyone to coffee.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Although after the last few days, I don't know if I can handle another coffee. But I can just order something else.
True.
Sure. Let's go.
Alright. Final trip, I guess, for the quest. Go to the cafe. This will probably be the final teleport of the day. Just a bit of conversation left now. And then that's it. Honestly, feels like that is a good time today as well. We're over the 3-hour mark, but we're not going far over the 3-hour mark, probably. So, an Alistair? Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Nice.
Then there was Tainari. He put up an amazing fight.
Glad I was able to provide some background audio for that.
Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been biting my nails off worrying about you guys.
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of detail, but it has livened up the room all the same.
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him. That's very dignified of you, Cyno.
Well, Cyno only won one of those
Being dignified comes
rounds
with being a
because we
true
did the
champion.
other two.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much
Put
with
it
desert
together.
folk before. It was a pretty unique experience.
I'm sure it's gonna look amazing. I'm sure. The venue was pretty impressive too. Very ceremonial affair.
Yeah, huge place. It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like
Did
there
somebody
was...
say poem?
Maybe save that one for later, Paimon. Dessert's here.
Everyone enjoys the company again. Generosity, talkways of the temple sounds gradually fade away.
I think that'll do
Okay.
me for today.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home? We should probably finish putting all those books back.
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
And there they go.
I should get going as well. See you all later. Make sure you get some good rest tonight.
I need
Very
to go
quick
say
boop.
thanks to the Core 30 for their help.
How quick?
Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to
How
some of the
quick?
Academia's
But also
work
how
processes.
spooky. But
So,
how quick?
I got a dash too.
And how boop?
Kali's come a long way. She's much
I hope
more
you're well.
confident
I
at
hope you're
dealing
very
with other
well.
people these days.
Everyone's a work in progress. You never stop learning.
Yeah, true.
Quick. Okay, got it. I love how everyone is showing up in time for basically us approaching the end of the stream. There's 9 people here now. We were sitting at 3 people for the majority. Now there's 9 and I'm about to end in raid.
That was good. It feels like everything's finally
That is
wrapped
the
up now.
typical Genshin
Life
experience.
is all about these moments when you can
Again,
finally
it is the
relax
least
and
well-liked
hang out
game
with
on the
good
channel,
friends
I've
after a
noticed.
job well done. And also, those desserts Cyno got, they were really good.
Gonna cry.
Paimon definitely needs more of those in the future.
I'm sure you can do this. I'm sure you got it. Thanks for the second hydrate, by the way. Then let's come back again sometime.
Do you 3 have anything planned for the rest of the day? If not, would you come somewhere with me?
Oh, I guess we're teleporting somewhere else after all? Sure, where are we going?
That's a secret for now. Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
Okay, I think I can guess what you're talking about. It'll definitely be a nice surprise.
I thought we're already done. I guess there's still a tiny bit more left to this quest. Well then, let's see. Again, I could end now, but ending it here would feel so stupid. Because we've basically completed the story. We're just in the epilogue of it. Right, Alex? I mean, I probably will. But you know, if you are here when I go and do the raid, you're gonna get extra channel points if you ever need them or something.
Been a while since I last made my way up here.
Wow, look at this place! We're so high up!
Jump down.
Need any help?
Without a glider. Don't underestimate me.
As you wish.
That's a nice spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up, we can see for miles!
Traveler,
Yeah?
turn around.
Do we have a visitor? No? Just appreciating the scenery. It's beautiful.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I
And
only bring
push.
my best friends. When I was a student, I used to slip away and climb up here all the time, just to clear my head. I was quite young then, and hadn't made too many friends yet. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for? Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
You will remain inextricably linked to the Temple of Silence.
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, one tough cookie. A true champion now. You're a true champion.
Of course.
Indeed.
I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Cyno accidentally dropped a fruit. Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in time.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my fingers again.
Oh, I'm sure.
Those were good times. I kind of miss the student life.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Cyno doing something like that, but for some strange reason, the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop. There's somebody there. It's Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on without me. I'll be right back.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, you're not supposed to jump down! Be careful!
I'm sure he has a glider in case of emergency. Oh boy. What kind of people are we talking about now, huh? Because there, in every community there's a few bad apples.
I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Cyno.
Sad
Just the
skin
man
for
I'm looking
devs,
for.
yep.
Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Some old photos?
Can you believe it? This notebook was just sitting in a pile of odds and ends in the
Damn.
sage's office. I must have forgotten to take it with me, and no one's touched it since. It was still right there. I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and just happened to cross it. Well, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this picture. Still a kid.
You look quite young yourself in that one. Ah, it's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Look at them reminiscing.
Looks like her work, all right.
So much
Who else could
reminiscing.
have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hideous?
Also, thanks
And
for
this
another
one.
hydrate.
Looks like we're both dozing off.
Oh, cheeky girl. Taking secret photos of us without our knowledge.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they?
Thanks for the headpats, by the way.
Hey,
Caption not understanding.
at
Saw
moments
that.
like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you feel the same way.
What
Don't be
exactly are you talking
ridiculous,
about
you
there,
old
Spooky?
codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh,
Ow,
I've been to
okay.
that place
Fine,
many
two
times
hours.
after leaving the desert. Sometimes and other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. We all learned so much from one another.
Hi
You've
there,
matured so
Dev.
much over the years, I know.
How's it going?
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on
Again,
all the
attractive.
non-answers you just gave.
Oh boy.
I will do the right thing and keep my mouth
Was an
shut.
actual child or just a lolly that was like
Good
however
thinking.
many years old,
Take
like
your own
Nahida?
advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Oh?
Lisa strikes again. Just how many did she take?
Not too into Genshin, I mean that's also fair.
Look how cute you were when
Look
you
at all
were
these
little.
pictures!
I remember how well-mannered you were back
Don't
then,
loot
too.
the god lolly.
Yeah.
I
like how
mean
serious
also,
and
yeah.
professional you used to be.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now...
What about the black
Testing me
market
at
lol?
those little
What about the
quips,
black
too.
market lolly? What about that one?
Don't
What about
say that.
Dory?
I still have a lot of respect for you.
Huh, that's more like it. Hey, what would you say to meeting up with Lisa again sometime?
I'd like that. Let's find a time and pay her a visit in Mondstadt.
All right, I'll add it to my schedule. Let's go next week. Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to beat Zaha Hadid.
Oh my god.
Or you could find a real hobby, Professor.
And that's the end, huh? Yep. Oathkeeper quest completed. Now this is one of the lollies that is, I am pretty sure, definitely underage. Like, she is an actual child. And is adorable, yes. But the pictures too. The pictures were also super adorable. Well, I'll leave you two to it. You can, like, do your stuff. Or I assumed that because the height. Yeah, but there are lolly characters that are super old. Wait, not party info. Not what I need. I mean, if I go into characters. Take, for example. There she is. Nahida. As Spinner said, this character is like 500 years old. A literal goddess. 16? I thought Dory was older than that, honestly. Chi-Chi is another character who's technically old because she's a zombie. She doesn't grow. She's kind of stuck at that body type for all eternity. Because she is a very established merchant at this point.
Ta-da! No! Oh, fine.
Anyway, yeah, we should just probably adorable. You can open a door, yes. Alright, let's see if I can set up the raid now. While the people are still here, before everyone leaves, I should set up the raid. Da 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 da. Alex is live, indeed, yes. I will probably make it a poll, though. You know what, let's make it a quick poll. We have Sorty playing. Not gonna specify too much. We have Zell playing a game I have never heard of. That is definitely a new thingy. Ghost of Tsushima? Let's have like those options. That should be enough. Don't need to run it for long. Let's just make a 1-minute poll real quick. There we go. Pretty cool. I mean, there are a lot of really cool designs. I like Farina. I like Fischl. Those two I definitely like because they're Chuny characters. Well, Fischl more so than Farina. I still really want to see the two of them interact. I know Farina isn't putting on the Chuny show as much anymore since the whole story thing happened, but I still want to see Farina and Fischl interact in some way, shape, or form. It would be amazing. I want to see the Chuny battle. But obviously it is also no secret that I really adore Zhongli. And Nouvellette is also pretty nice. Oh, well. Now let's see what chat decided. That is a 3-way tie. Are you kidding me right now? You're really giving me a 3-way tie? How the fuck did that happen? Didn't vote. Alright, let's do a tie breaker. Let's do it again. Remove the one that didn't get votes. I won't include the games again this time. Tiebreaker vote, one less option. Oh, wait, never mind, never mind. We have a vote for Zell. Never mind. If you didn't vote, then get rid of it. Then in that case, Zell wins. If Bones is the tiebreaker, that works. Alright. Saves me some time. Zell. Ow. Thanks, Dev. But also, Zell doesn't stream as often, so it makes sense. Stop it. Stop. Start raid. There. On it. There's only one problem. Zell has been live for quite a bit. Knowing my luck, the stream is probably about to end. And then I'm gonna raid into a stream that's about to be finished. I appreciate the head pat though, Bones. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Have you gotten it out of your system yet, Rob? Alright. Now then, thanks everyone so much for watching. I'll see you all around next time. Have a good one and bye-bye. And of course, if you're watching this after it's been uploaded to YouTube as a VOD, your support has also been greatly appreciated. And you know, if you do want to catch me live in the future, then you know what to do. There's a link in the description down below. I stream on Twitch every single Friday and Saturday and sometimes other days of the week as well. No pressure, it's just an option there for you. In any event, see you around and yeah, bye bye.